Welcome to Drawfee, where we take your dumb ideas
and make even dumber drawings.
I'm Jacob.
I'm Nathan.
I'm Karina.
And I'm Julia.
And on today's episode, we're taking it back to the past, much like Samurai
Bone
Jack.
Game.
Bones are not just in the past, they're in the present too.
Bone game?
We're not doing the
mine.
bone game.
Samurai
Then
Jack?
why would you say that?
Because the past has lots of things, Karina, not just bones.
Oh, are you doing a Samurai Jack? I thought you were going to say Samuel Jack.
Samuel Jackson.
Samuel L. Jackson.
We're going back to the past just like Samuel L. Jackson.
Uh-huh.
To the early days of the internet with this suggestion from Drawfee Patreon Discord user Ivanorod or Evan Orod or Ivanorod.
Or
Take your pick. Or Evanorod.
I think the last one.
Yeah, I like
Take
that
your
one.
pick.
Take your pick.
They said it'd be fun to see y'all create characters out of the strangest old school name and or title generators you can find.
Great.
And then sent me some that I used actually for this episode.
Old school.
If y'all don't know about these, it was a common thing in early internet to just have an image that was like, here's a list of names for your birthday. Pick the one that's your month and your year and your day. And now this is your
Jacob,
clown
you're
name.
so clearly not on Facebook because that shit still rides.
Facebook is where all the old internet shit
Yeah.
lives
Yeah.
You
That's
can tell
fair. Yeah.
the artifacting.
now. Yeah.
That's where all the bones of the internet live.
Yeah, in the JPEG artifacting. So we got some crusty old images here for you to use. Nathan,
Yeah.
you're up first.
Yeah.
Please reveal your image. What's your stoner name, bro?
Oh!
I thought it was Nathan.
So what, it's your first name is what?
My first name is Mr.
And what's your last name?
Nathan.
Mr. Man?
Mr. Man?
My stoner name?
The stoner
Mr.
I'm gonna start calling you
Here
that.
comes Mr. Man.
I'm only Mr. Man when I'm stoned.
Otherwise, he's Big Boss Man.
Don't
Yeah.
Don't let Nathan near the weed or he'll turn into Mr. Man.
And you don't want to know what Mr. Man is like.
So am I drawing myself as Mr. Man or am I just drawing a Mr. Man?
It's up to you. You could do like your Mr. Man Sona.
my Mr. Man. I'm Mr. Man.
Or you can just draw a Mr. Man who's
Yeah.
like a stoner Mr. Man.
Yeah, he's just Mr. Man, but he is a stoner.
Mr. Man, Mr. Man.
He feels like a very like business-like stoner.
Julia, was that Pepper Ann?
Yeah.
Okay.
It
Just
was
checking.
Pepper Ann,
Just
yeah.
checking. Okay.
He is too cool for 7th grade.
He is too cool.
He is
because he's
an adult.
He's
He's
an
an adult man.
Man. I just
He's in his mid-30s. He is way too cool for 7th grade.
He is married. He has 2 children. But occasionally on the weekends, he likes to partake of some leaf. That's what he says. He goes up to like a circle of youths and he's like, may I partake of some leaf?
of some leaf. Are you enjoying the leaf?
It's
Oh my
legal
God.
here.
Maybe it's like it's been a big joke with like his other stoner friends that he looks like such a G-man for the man that they're like, you're Mr. Man.
A G-man for the man.
What's a G-man? Like
a
G
government,
Fuel?
like a
Oh.
Oh,
Like a
not
government
like a
guy.
G Fuel man.
Yeah, G Fuel. No, like someone who works for the government, and they're like, "You're clearly an undercover cop," and he's like, "No, please, I just
want some leaf.
I just want some leaf, please."
I'm so normal.
It relaxes
I'm
me.
sorry.
I suffer from anxiety,
I suffer from anxiety,
and a bit of the leaf relaxes me.
but too much makes me more anxious. I need to make sure I have the right amount.
Please give me exactly 1.5 tokes. I find that gets me right where I need to be the best husband for my wife, Greta.
Greta. It's me, Greta Man.
My wife, Greta Gerwig,
Wait,
the famous
Man.
director.
he's married to Greta Gerwig?
I'm so proud of her and her movie, The Barbie.
I couldn't believe it when she told me she'd be making the Barbie movie. Such a big IP. But it made me a little anxious.
So I needed some of the leaf.
So I sought out some leaf. I want to be encouraging and supportive.
How good was that Ken song?
He is just Ken. And I really felt that.
Just like me, I'm just Ken sometimes.
My name is Ken.
My full name is Ken Man.
Ken Man.
Ken Man.
But you can call me Mister.
Well, maybe one more toke wouldn't hurt. Oh, no.
Oh, no.
My anxiety has in fact risen. This is a problem.
Can you tell that I'm baked?
Guess I'll just have to sit here and ride it out.
Is it too obvious that I have had the leaf?
I'm trying to act normal. Do you, by any chance, have Cheetos? I really am craving some Cheetos.
So, Nathan, is this you?
I guess.
This looks like you.
This looks like you.
This is Mr. Man.
Oh, right.
This is me when I become Mr. Man because I'm stoned.
You become incredibly normal.
He just goes.
How about those stocks?
How about those stocks and or bonds?
Which one do you like more?
I don't know exactly what either is, but I figured I would ask.
Have you been to the horse race? I lost it all on a big bet.
I lost it all.
I lost it all. Including my wife, Greta Gerwig. She left me.
I lost all the Barbie movie money.
At the horse race.
The horse race. It was my first one.
It was my first one. I was so nervous. I didn't know how much to bet, so I just bet it all.
All of it.
I liked this horse because it was called the Big Leaf. And I sometimes need the big leaf.
I thought we had something in common.
Me and the big leaf. I thought we could hang out after, but then I remembered it was a horse that didn't belong to me.
It was a horse and I had nothing. Nothing to offer. What could I give such a beautiful creature?
Man.
Mr. Man.
That's true. That is his name.
Mr. Man, Mr. Man.
I could have gotten Super Skunk. I could have gotten Doobie Puffer. I could have gotten Bubba Nugget. I could have gotten Platinum Cheese. I could have gotten Granddaddy. Granddaddy Pooch. I could have gotten Toasty Fruity. But instead I got been? Julia, you would have been Granddaddy Pooch.
Wow, Granddaddy
Yeah! What about me? What about me?
Karina, you would have been Bubba Puffer. And Jacob, of course, would have been Granddaddy Bud.
Granddaddy
Karina...
Bud and Granddaddy Pooch.
Karina only smokes outside of the Bubba Gump shrimp.
Yeah.
At
I like
Square.
to bother the patrons.
But I got fucking Mr. Man.
What would David have been?
David would have been Sensei Diesel.
That's so good.
Oh, that's so hardcore.
Every single combination on this list is better than Mr. Man.
Nathan, you really did the like stoner equivalent of the wolf names with Moon Moon.
You did. You got Man.
I wish it was just Mr. Mister.
Oh.
Or Man.
Save a little puff for Mr. Man.
I keep thinking about Sensei Diesel.
Sensei Diesel
That's
is
the person who coaches you on the road when you drive a 16-wheeler.
Yeah, that's a post-apocalyptic person that just like takes care of you.
Yeah,
When
through
you're
the
like,
radio.
you're the protagonist and you're like, and they're like, come with me. I'll
in the
show you the
rig.
ropes.
I'll teach you my ways, little man.
Nathan wearing a suit.
Looking so just
Normal.
an unknowable emotion on his face. Indescribable.
This is Nathan trying to play it cool
Yeah.
at some event.
Well,
I don't want them to know I'm high.
I don't want them to know I'm high. Well, should I just be holding a bong? Just like,
I brought my weed paraphernalia.
don't mind me.
I didn't have a bag to put it in, so I just carried it in my hand. I hope that's normal.
It's really small. Why I draw it like that?
You have a little baby hand.
That's what it feels like when you're high, is that you have a little baby hand.
I didn't know if you would have one, so I brought mine.
It was really hard to carry in my tiny, tiny hands. But I managed.
I bought this at the store.
The
You
store
know the
was
store.
called Smoke City.
Have you been?
It's just on the corner outside.
You bought it on the way.
I left mine at home.
I didn't have time to put any water in.
So it's brand new.
Does anyone have any leaves to put in it?
He didn't bring any weed. He just brought
I
a
just
brand new empty bong.
an empty bong.
It's like going to someone's housewarming party with a glass for yourself.
Yeah, like, if only there was some beer to go in this glass.
Did anybody happen to bring some beer?
Just holding it out.
It's brand new.
I got it on the way here.
Mr. Man would, though.
Just Mr. Man stuff, you know.
All the Mr. Mans out there will get this.
Yeah, if you're a Mr. Man, tell us about it. This you?
This you?
I thought you were just giving a thumbs up.
Just a tiny little thumbs up.
He just has a lighter
I
in
have
his
a
other
lighter.
tiny hand.
I would love to spark this up.
Unfortunately, there's no leaf inside.
There's no leaf. Do you have any leaf?
He
I
sounds
don't-
like a character from Shenmue.
I was about to say, he sounds like a
Do you
early,
know any sailors?
like a early computer point and click character you've encountered.
I don't feel too bad telling on my friends on such a public platform all the time. So one time at one of my birthdays, someone brought just like a lot of brownies,
Mhm.
and my absolute genius friend ate 5
Oh, God.
no.
because she would eat one, wait 5 minutes, and then go, I don't feel anything, and
Oh,
then eat
no.
another. And then after that, she left to go meet her boyfriend's family, and they
What?
all did it once.
What kind of... That's the craziest
That's
thing.
awesome. That's so funny.
Why would you do that?
I imagine she felt like this.
Yeah, and
She's
then
kind of dumb. Love you.
everybody's just-
My hands feel too small.
For
Are
my
they too
massive
small?
bong.
My wife, Greta Gerwig, says my hands are perfect just the way they are. But I
Oh,
don't
sorry.
know if she's appeasing me.
Ex-wife. Remember, I lost everything
lost
at the
everything.
racetrack, including her.
At the horse race.
That happened earlier today. I'm
And
still getting used to it.
That's why I had to get a bong on the way here, because I lost mine
I
at the horse race.
I stole this bong.
I stole it from the store.
I had nothing with which to buy it.
I said I got it from the store, which was true. I didn't say that I paid for it because I don't have any money or a wife.
If anybody comes asking if I am here, tell them no.
Especially if my ex-wife
Greta
asks.
Gerwig.
Director of the Barbie movie.
Well, first ask if she is willing to take me back.
And if not,
Then
tell her I'm not
I'm
here.
not here.
But hypothetically, if I was here, wink, I'm winking, would she take me back?
You look at him, he's not winking at all.
That was me winking. I said wink to indicate that
He
I was
says,
winking.
I'm winking, and then he just blinks slowly.
Both eyes. I'm winking with both eyes. This is very funny.
Sweating a little.
I love Mr. Man.
So this is me, Mr. Man, my alter ego. When I'm not the big boss man, I'm just Mr. Man.
Yeah.
Not quite as in charge. Still a man.
Great prompt, really good. If anybody wants to do fan art of Granddaddy Pooch, please send that.
We'd love to see it.
We'd love to see that.
Get the whole gang in here.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Great work, Nathan.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Karina's next. All right, Karina.
What?
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. Reveal your old ass image.
Library punk.
This is the Lick Library
Lick Library.
punk band name generator.
Oh, I love the red on red of Lick. You can
Yeah.
really. It just looks like
Easy to
weird
read.
spacing.
It's the
Space, library.
library.
Punk.
Okay, the first letter of your first, middle, and last names. Negative, hate, rebels.
Negative hate rebels.
So are they very positive?
They bring
Unclear.
negative hate. It cancels out hate.
But they're rebels
They
too.
hate.
They hate hate.
They hate negativity.
Are
That's
they
so punk.
But
Are
are
they
they
like-
rebelling against negative hate?
Are they like a kill 'em with kindness sort of rebels? Like they're the people who like throw wildflower seeds on people's lawns so that wildflowers grow. Have you seen that?
That's
Just
cool.
I haven't
Yeah.
seen that.
It's like people on bikes will go and if there's like a public common area, like a little strip of lawn, they'll throw the seeds on there and then after a couple months it'll grow.
That's kind of like a negative hate rebel.
Yeah, that's basically.
Yeah, so you don't have to draw a full band if you don't want to.
Oh, trust me, I would never.
You could just draw like, the lead singer or whatever you want to do.
Yeah, let me get a pose in here.
I'm on my way to see my favorite band, the Negative Hate Rebels. Could someone buy me a ticket, please? I don't have any money.
I lost it all.
I mean, the way you drew Mr. Man does look like the type of guy that you see those memes sometimes where it's like, if this dude is the guitarist at the show you just went to, you're about to die in that pit.
Oh yes.
That's what Mr. Man looks like.
Yeah.
If you go to a hardcore show and the band looks like that, like normal guys, it's about to be like the hardest shit you've ever heard in your entire life. So Mr. Man probably is really into like hardcore music.
Yeah, they look just like me. Also, I seek the sweet release of death in the pit.
Because I'm so devastated about losing my wife
Can't you
Greta
tell?
Gerwig.
and everything else.
Oh, this is a good pose already.
Yeah, I love this. Is this like, I can't even tell what they're going to be doing. Are they be holding like a mic stand or are they just like going nutso?
They're doing something. I'm figuring it out.
They're throwing
Okay.
hands.
And this is a free band name. If you're
Yeah.
watching and are looking for a band name
Yeah, every combination on this list is free for you.
for you.
Negative Hate Rebels does sound like kind of a like an industry plant band.
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Completely, yeah.
Yeah,
They just show up
they're
number
just
one on
viral
Spotify.
TikTok for some reason. Why though?
They have millions of views but no comments.
I just want
Yeah.
to say that mine is Blood Chainsaw Project.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
so cool.
That's pretty sick.
I feel like mine sounds like one that you would see as like a parody in like a cartoon.
Yeah, like an iCarly episode. Where,
Yeah,
like, one of her
iCar-
classmates.
iCarly ass punk band name.
Mine is Blood Sex Criminals.
That's so cool. Wow.
I don't think we want to be blood sex criminals.
I can't read it from where I'm sitting, so
What's your
dirty-
middle initial?
E.
Dirty filth.
Habit.
Dirty filth habit.
Dirty filth habit. Nathan Yaffe and dirty filth habit.
Many people would say smoking weed is a dirty filth habit, but I disagree.
Perhaps if you do more tokes than me,
Which is 1.5.
which is 1.5.
Dirty filth habit. When I get too into an MMO.
That's your
God.
dirty filth habit. We've all been there.
Yeah. Comment down below what your dirty filth habit is.
I sort of like to throw my feces.
Oh, okay. I
Hmm.
don't think I'm going to comment mines anymore because I don't have anything to add.
What do you do with your feces?
Don't tell on me.
Karina's using her own hand reference,
Karina
flipping
just-
herself
Just
off.
flipping off the
Do you
screen.
need me to flip you off, Karina?
Yeah.
Does this help?
I just forgot which way the thumb goes. I never remember which way the thumb goes.
Now Julia's flipping all of us off.
Everyone flip each other off right now.
We're doing it. We're all
Perfect.
doing
Wow.
Perfect. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah, you did
That's-
it.
That's
Yeah.
correct.
It was a good hand, Karina.
it. That's a really good
Thanks.
hand.
I don't know what I'm going to do with the rest of it. I just wanted to
Just-
draw this.
That's
picture.
it.
It was just really funny looking at you just like very intensely flicking off your drawing.
I got your reference right here, me.
Fuck you.
Fuck you, negativity.
This is such a bumper sticker ass drawing. Like, slap this on the back of a Ford F-150.
It's the new Calvin pissing.
Yeah.
If you can see my hands, you're driving too close.
Fuck you.
Fuck
If
you.
you can see my hands, fuck you.
I don't want to draw the other eye because I'm just
Put hair there.
Put hair there.
exactly,
Or a shadow.
exactly.
Or Shadow the Hedgehog.
Or Shadow the Hedgehog.
Can this be Shadow the Hedgehog?
He already has human hands.
I mean,
So
Perfect.
So perfect, yeah.
Oh God.
He has big hands.
That's the wrong hand, Julia.
Yeah.
Pinky closest to us.
Why do I not remember that every time?
Yeah, that's it.
That's it.
That's the way. Thumb on the far side.
Whatever.
With all the cows
whatever.
and-
yeah, with
Yeah.
all the cows and shit.
And shit. Like the comics.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, that's yeah.
In case you don't know what I'm talking about.
On the cow tools or whatever that comic is.
Yeah, cow tools.
cow tools.
I've heard of cowboys, but cow tools. I've heard of pro tools.
But cow tools?
But cow tools?
Keep it coming.
I've heard of the band Tool, but cow tools?
But cow tools? I don't have any more.
to draw these hands, I guess. Now I gotta do the rest of it. Blah.
You did most of the work already. The hands
Yeah.
were the hardest part.
Yeah.
Big boots.
Boots!
Yeah. Big old dick stompers, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't leave your dick on the ground. Around
Yeah, I'm
here.
gonna stomp on it.
Better lift that thing up.
Well.
Yeah.
Well.
Yeah, dude.
Better lift that thing up, they say.
Well, they're like, I wouldn't want to stomp on it
Yeah.
accidentally. That would be hateful.
Yeah, in the pit.
In the pit. It's just pit etiquette. You don't leave your dick on the ground.
It's Piticut.
Yeah.
Pit etiquette.
If your dick is on the ground and like
In the pit.
no one asked for that, like no one's responsible for what happens. That's all.
Yeah.
Like that's an open invitation. It's etiquette.
Pit etiquette.
We're stupid today.
We
That's
also
every
didn't
week.
sleep good last night.
Oh no.
It's true.
So we got the weird
I
brain.
didn't know that. I'm sorry.
Our cat decided to sing the song for people at 5 in the morning.
Oh, it was the cat's fault. Yeah,
Well,
who could have seen
sort
that
of.
coming?
I had a dream that woke me up at 3 a.m.
No.
that we were doing a Drawfee live show at like what looked like in my mind like a Harvard auditorium in front of a bunch of like old people who like looked like they wanted to see fine art. And it was just me and Julia. Y'all weren't there for some
Wow.
reason.
They wouldn't agree to this.
And Julia was like freaking out so bad that she wasn't saying anything. So it was just me. And I was like bombing it so bad. And
That's
it was just getting
awesome.
worse and worse.
That rules.
And I couldn't draw anything. And then I accidentally drew Eric Cartman from South Park. And it was like I didn't want to, but it happened.
Like, I'm gonna draw here. Here's what you guys want to see: some original character design. I'm just gonna draw his hat, his eye. Oh no! Oh fuck! Oh fuck! It's Eric Cartman
I
from
can't stop
South
it now.
Park. I'm already drawing Eric Cartman from South Park.
They all know.
Like watching a train wreck.
At
know
the Harvard
fraud.
Auditorium for
Everyone
all
in the
these
audience
old
is
people.
just like clutching their pearls, like, my goodness, is that Eric Cartman?
The antithesis of a Harvard man. Eric Cartman is. They talk like Yoda.
They all-
Yoda's there too. Eric Cartman is.
And then I woke
Julie's
up.
just sitting there silently.
I'm seeing Eric Cartman come to life, and inside I'm going, no, no, no.
In the dream, Julia was like sweating and like stammering.
Oh, what the hell is this dream? I love it.
So funny that you remember specifically drawing
I wish I could
Eric
remember
Cartman.
my dreams like this.
I remember because part of the crux of the dream too, aside from me bombing, was that it was taking me forever to draw the
Eric-
thing I was trying to draw. And then that's what it ended up being.
Oh my god. I'm living that dream right now.
This isn't Eric Cartman though.
No.
Yeah.
I'm taking
Yeah.
forever because I didn't think this through.
Yeah,
before
but I love this
started.
drawing.
It's
Yes.
good.
This is making me happy, unlike the dream, which made me very stressed out.
Yeah, geez.
And so I woke up and I was really stressed out.
That's so
And then
funny though.
I was awake until like 5 a.m. And then just as I
Aw.
was falling asleep again, Joy started doing her door screams.
Oh.
And it woke me up again. And then like an hour after that, the recycle truck came by and was like clanking cans.
Oh no.
It's horrible.
A disaster this morning.
Terrible night. 0 out of 10.
After you drew Eric Cartman in your dream, did anyone in the audience say, "Screw you guys, I'm going home"?
No, unfortunately not.
Like what Eric
Like
Cartman
what Eric Cartman says.
in South Park.
No, it was a dream, so nothing really followed.
Yeah, nothing
any sort of train
made
of logic.
sense. It was just stress.
It was just stress.
That's a really funny stress dream though.
It's funny now.
Yeah.
You should have told the audience to respect your authority.
I think they would have really got a kick out of that.
I don't think they would have.
And then go to Casa Bonita.
You got any more?
None of this means anything to me. I never watched this show.
You got anything else?
I'm just gonna make this a little critter.
There's a character named Butters, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Good to know.
Uh-huh.
Oh yeah, like a little lion.
Ooh,
I
yeah.
don't know. This is it's such like a fake punk band name.
Yeah. This is like the rebel band in Chuck E. Cheese.
They took over. It's like the Chuck E. Cheese ARG where this guy took over Chuck E. Cheese.
Well, it's like to get on the bandwagon of FNAF. They were like, kids love gritty horror
Yeah.
animals. This is ours. And then they came up with negative hate rebels.
It's
Yeah.
like a squirrel or something.
Yeah.
It's like a squirrel or
He's
something.
got
I don't know.
human
Fuck
hands.
you.
Yeah, you got big old hands.
The exclusive like food item that comes out when he launches is like a super extra cheesy.
Yeah, nacho cheese pizza
Oh.
cinnamon bun.
Woo. I wasn't ready for cinnamon bun.
Whoa.
Why not?
Ooh.
It's a rat.
Oh, it become rad.
What the hell kind of tale is that?
Don't worry about it.
This dude was designed by committee for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were like, what's all the buzzwords we got for like gritty animals? We got rat, squirrel,
Gritty animal squirrel. The grittiest animal.
rat.
Squirrels are kind of fucked up, honestly, so I'd count it.
They are little monsters.
Yeah, I've seen too many squirrels just like eat shit and die. So,
I got
That's
messed
pretty
up by a
gritty.
squirrel when I was a kid.
oh my god.
What'd it do?
It scratched the ever living hell out of my ankles.
Damn.
That's brutal. Did you
Yeah.
get rabies?
I did not.
That's good.
That's
That's
good.
good.
Yeah,
Glad you
I
didn't get
lived.
rabies.
Yeah, me too.
I lived, bitch.
Because if I found out that you had rabies after all this time, I'd be
This
pretty cross
whole
with you.
That's why I don't drink water.
Oh, I always wondered about that.
Yeah.
Can I stop?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is this negative hate rebel?
Yeah.
I think so.
The like AI generated Chuck E. Cheese mascot.
Wait,
Yeah.
so if the voice of Chuck E. Cheese is the dude from what's it called? The band
Bowling for
Bowling for
Soup?
Soup, then who's the voice of this guy? The dude from Taking Back Sunday?
Yeah.
I don't know his name.
No one knows his name.
But it seems like it would be him.
But he took back Sunday.
I feel like his name is Adam. Is his name Adam? Let me know in the comments.
this character is very Adam coded.
Yeah.
That's for sure. this guy's like government name is definitely Adam, but
His stage name is Adam Savage.
Oh, the lead vocalist is Adam Lazara.
His name is Adam?
Yeah.
Adam Lasagna.
This guy's name is Adam Lasagna.
This is him, Adam Lasagna. I need to write that down. Oh God, how do I spell?
Lasagna.
Lasagna.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna make him shitting on a lasagna.
Oh, this is like a crazy taxi character too.
I've done it.
You
Get
have.
me out of here.
Me.
Good job, Karina.
Thank you.
Julia, time now.
Okay. Me.
Julia,
Yes.
open your list.
Okay. Crime thriller book title generator.
Ooh.
I felt like this
Ooh.
suited you.
Yeah.
What is your crime book called?
The Shadow Oak.
The
Shadow
Shadow Oak.
The Shadow Oak.
The Shadow
The
Oak.
Shadow
Imagine a oak,
An oak will
Was-
you imagine?
It was Shadow.
but
the
imagine if it
Hedgehog.
was shadowed. Too scary for me. No, thank you. The Shadow Oak.
The Shadow Oak, which means Jacob would be the Shadow.
House.
The Shadow House.
He's next to the Shadow Oak.
Karina's the Stolen Square.
Stolen Square.
They always say that. Everyone is saying this.
Nathan is the Cypress Brink.
The Cypress Brink. A lot of trees.
Yeah.
What if it was the Cypress Oak? What if someone got that? That's too many tree types.
That would be awesome.
How to get to be two different trees.
That's the real mystery.
That's what's that movie? Annihilation. That's when the tree become two trees.
Yeah, we don't like it when that happens.
We don't like it when that happens.
That's like the whole crux of that movie is that we don't like
The
it when
movie-
that happens.
the movie's basically about how we don't like it when that happens.
Yeah, we go in there and we see it.
And we're like, mm-mm,
It's like that deer is also a dog. We don't like that.
that bear has a lady's voice.
So we really don't like that when that happens.
Uh-oh.
We got to do something.
We gotta
about
do
this.
something. We gotta do something about
It
it.
can't stay this way.
Fire? I guess fire.
Maybe fire.
Let's try fire.
It's like it works on most things.
Yeah.
The Shadow
The
Oak.
Shadow Oak.
Oh, the shadows.
Oh, the shadows.
Oh, the Shadow Oak.
I mean, this does sound like the title of like one of those Dean Koontz books or something. One of his 100 million books he's written.
These.
Like you'd see it at the grocery store in the line at the cash register.
Yeah.
And it'd be like from the twisted mind that brought you the undulating sphere.
And the stolen square.
And the stolen square.
This is a very Julia prompt.
Yeah, this is already such a Julia drawing.
Yeah. Very cool tree
just
shapes.
draw a scary tree.
A shadow tree.
Yeah.
Shadow the Hedgehog.
Whoa!
No, I can't draw Shadow the Hedgehog.
But I love to see you try.
You do, don't you?
Yeah.
I don't want you to think, Julia, that I've forgotten about how we discussed a speed draw where we make you draw pictures of Sonic every day for a week.
I was literally thinking about this speed draw yesterday and was wondering when I should start.
I still want you to do it.
Is it from memory every week?
Yeah.
Okay.
From memory?
Well, I guess it doesn't have to be from memory.
From memory?
We can discuss the details.
Homer!
Homie!
But I just want it to be you doing portraits of Sonic
Portraits of Sonic.
once per day for a week.
Once per day per week.
Yeah,
Only
per
per day,
week.
per week, per month, per year,
months on
forever.
end.
Until you die.
I'll only do a Portraits of Sonic episode if we give it, like in the thumbnail, like fancy script font, and it says the Portraits of Sonic.
The Sonic Files.
We captured him. We captured his soul.
And we painted him.
In a painting.
Okay, but like, what if in Pokemon Blue version,
Okay.
you go
Huh?
to talk to Professor Oak and it's Shadow the Hedgehog
Whoa.
instead.
And this is a creepypasta.
Yeah.
Something's wrong with my Pokemon game. I go to get my first Pokemon, and instead of Professor Oak, it's Shadow the Hedgehog, and he has a gun.
Yeah, and instead of giving me a Pokemon, he says Chaos Control.
And then it happened in real life.
Whoa.
That's the whole creepypasta. Like, which part of it happened in real life? What do you mean?
All of it.
Oh, simpler times.
This is a good tree.
Ooh.
Cool tree.
Cool
tree,
Julia.
dude.
Thanks. Hey, thanks. Hey, thanks.
Hey.
Hey.
So this book would definitely be like book 13 of a series that's all about the same white guy.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And I want to
Yeah.
know what his name would be.
Mr. Man.
His name would be like Man Hardling or something.
Man Hardling, Dean Tree.
Yeah.
Each book in the series is named after a different tree and a different tragedy.
His name is Root Firmly. Yo, if you haven't been reading the Root Firmly books, you're missing out.
Phoenix Wright ass name.
Sure, they start a little sexist.
No, they get better. They introduce a female character who's also a detective, and she's really smart, and she's not like other girls. Wait, no, I didn't mean that.
I mean, she is like other girls. All girls are smart. I mean, well, not all girls are smart, but... Oh, shit. Oh, no.
Okay, but
it
also
doesn't matter. She dies.
But also they introduce her sister, who's like normal girls, and that she's really dumb. Wait, fuck.
Oh,
Wait,
God.
no.
That's not
No.
what I meant.
Oh no, you guys!
Listen, if
no,
you read the books,
no,
I
come
swear.
on!
Yeah.
No, don't boo me! Stop!
Please,
Stop.
please.
Let me get back to my drawing of Eric Cartman.
Meanwhile, Julia's stun locked 3 feet away.
I'm sweating her ass off. Like that gif of Jordan Peele.
You know, Jacob, if you're having trouble sleeping, might I recommend having exactly 1.5 tokes before bed?
Oh, thank you, Mr. Man. That's a really good
But
recommendation.
be careful, if you have more than 1.5 tokes, you'll be up all night. I've done that before.
How did your wife feel about that?
We don't talk anymore.
It just starts crying. Oh, right, my wife.
I miss my wife. I miss my wife. I miss her a lot.
I miss my wife a lot, Jacob.
You know she made the Barbie movie. Yeah, I know.
She made the Barbie movie.
I'm just really proud of her.
I cried when I got to the Ken song because it felt like it was for me from her.
A gift from my wife at the time.
Is there a face in the tree?
Yeah.
Oh.
Is it shadow?
Certainly is not.
Does the shadow of the tree make it look like a face because there was a murder done in the tree?
That's what I'm thinking.
And they hid the
Whoa.
body in the tree?
And it became the tree.
And it became
the
the
tree.
tree.
Was the face. That takes a long time.
Is a
Old-ass
really
murder.
old murder?
But does the old murder have something to do with a new murder?
But then another body was found planted
in around
they found it
in
they put
near close to
around it a tree and copycat or same
guy.
But it's been 300 years.
It's been.
How could he still be alive unless
That'd be a fun. It's like each of the murders turns out was done by a vampire.
the same vampire?
It's just the same vampire.
In every book, it's just that same fucking vampire.
God damn it, you again?
I was hoping it wasn't you this time.
No, it was me.
You'll never catch me, root firmly.
So wait, so you're saying
Becomes
that
a bat.
so you're saying that there's one female character who's a detective and one female character who's a dumbass. The smart one dies and all of the crimes are committed by the same vampire. Yeah, no, it's good. It's
really good.
Like you keep thinking
Yeah.
it's not gonna be finally, but then twist it was. You really should read it. I think you'll like it.
Don't worry. Both female characters do sleep with the main character.
Don't
wait.
worry.
I mean,
But like because they want to, and they're not like in love with him or anything.
They're very empowered.
It's for them. It's for them.
Yeah. Like it's sexy, but like in an empowering way
Yeah,
for them, for
he-
women.
he's really good in bed. He's an attentive lover, okay?
He's really good in bed, but that benefits the women more than it benefits him.
He never finishes. So just read it, okay?
It's really important to his character that he never finishes.
In fact, he even says the only thing I ever finish is a case.
You know what? I'm coming around to this book.
Oh God.
I recommend starting with the Shadow Oak and then going back. I've
It's
got
a
a
prequel.
read list order for you from Reddit.
It'll make sense.
There's release order and then the order you should read them in. It's different.
There's release order, the order you should read them in, and the actual chronological order
In
of
the
events.
it's all different.
They're all different.
There's also a visual novel.
Haruhi Suzumiya ass book series.
More trees.
Oh, they got more trees?
They got more trees.
Well,
oh,
yeah.
a skinny
This is
tree.
incredible.
Because there's always going to be more murder, even if we know who did it.
It was that one vampire.
That one pesky vampire. God damn it.
Then there's one book where the victim is the vampire and he's been killed. But as it turns out, he wasn't.
No, he also did it.
He did it.
He did it.
He
It was
staged
on
it.
accident.
Yeah.
He staged it.
He staged it on accident and decided to just go along with it.
He's so pesky. And he's done every human crime.
This vampire sounds kind of familiar.
Astarion.
I like these Calvin and Hobbes ass trees you got in the background
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
I like that You're just going to town on some trees.
Yeah, this is a cool image.
Yeah.
Leave it to you to draw a cool image of some trees
Make like a tree and leave it to you.
to you.
Hey, thanks.
Huh?
Make like a tree and leave it to you.
Just leave.
Okay.
It to you.
Can I finish this drawing?
Yeah, finish the drawing, but then
But then leave?
you should really go, I think.
Yeah.
Okay. I think that's fair.
I just think everyone would be more comfortable if you weren't present
Mhm.
physically,
Damn.
sort of in the space.
Okay. Noted.
No offense, it's just like when you're here
Your family.
Your family.
and we
Olive
don't like our
Garden.
families.
Uh-huh.
We're estranged.
Much like Mr. Man and his wife.
Greta Gerwig.
Yeah. I try not to say her name because then it makes him upset.
It makes me very upset.
But we already said it, so...
So
So
I might
Sorry.
have to have an extra toke just to calm down.
no, Mr. Man, you can't handle 2 tokes.
Oh, you're right. Oh no.
Oh, darn.
Why is everyone staring at me? Am I standing weird? It feels like I'm standing weird, but I don't remember how to not stand like this.
My hands feel very small. Oh, that's just my
Have
hands.
my hands always been this small?
Or is this bong just very large?
I just bought it, so I'm not accustomed to its size. And by bought it, I mean stole
I
it.
stole it. Like I said before, I don't have any money.
Did I already mention that?
Am I repeating myself?
Where am I?
Have we had this conversation before?
Uh,
Ooh, these effects, Julia.
hey, thanks.
Damn, you got tree effects?
Yeah.
Wow.
Flexing with some tree effects, you know.
Flex effects.
Tree
I think-
of flex.
The
I think
Shadow
that's it.
Oak. I can't wait to find out what happens to the vampire in this one.
I bet he did it.
I bet he did
No.
He did it, and he get caught, and then he turn into a bat,
it, and he flies
and
away.
he fly
Yeah.
away. And then, what's the
And then
protagonist's
the female
name?
character cries.
And then she
Woods-
sleeps with Root firmly.
Yeah.
Root firmly.
While crying.
Yeah.
And he doesn't finish.
No, he doesn't finish.
You may have finished this book, but I'll never finish.
That's
says-
the last line of the book.
Every time. In every book.
Dear
yeah,
reader.
mid-sex scene.
Wow, another banger, huh?
Wow.
Uh-huh.
Great job, everybody.
Thanks. Great job to you hosting and choosing these
Mhm.
great lists.
Mhm.
I picked them directly from the person that sent this suggestion. I didn't have
Good
to do
job.
basically anything.
Great
Yeah.
job picking the suggestion.
Thank you. And great job you watching this you've already clicked like, I bet, at this point, because
Because why wouldn't
there was
you?
something
Yeah.
to like in here for everyone, I
Something
think.
for everyone in this one.
But if you haven't, please take your tiny little hand and put it on your computer mouse, which is huge in comparison, and click it, please. And also follow and maybe comment down below
Yeah, we'd appreciate it.
what
and,
your stoner name would be.
and take 1.5 tokes and then head on over to our Patreon. I think that'll put you in the right frame of mind
Mm-hmm.
to support us on Patreon, where we got some things over there. You can get high-res versions of all these images we make. You can get little commissions if you fancy that.
Well,
You can get access to early classes and streams and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And who knows what else in the future we might give you.
Yeah. And you know what? Check out our merch store. Maybe your ex-wife is there.
Maybe she'll come back to you if you have our merch on.
Yeah. She'll go, "Oh, Mr. Man, you look so handsome wearing that Drawfee shirt. Maybe I will take you back. And together we can watch them stream on Twitch every Monday night."
That's how I get inspired to make my movies. I'm Greta Gerwig.
And this has been Drawfee Show.
We're sorry.
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 sorry.